Once upon a time, nestled in a cozy little burrow at the edge of a sun-dappled meadow, lived two of the very best friends you could ever imagine. Their names were Pinky and Brownie, a pair of fluffy, bright-eyed rabbits. Pinky was as pink as a ball of cotton candy, with ears the color of a summer sunset. Brownie was the warm, rich color of autumn leaves, with a twitchy nose that was always sniffing out a new adventure. They did everything together, from nibbling on sweet clover to playing hide-and-seek among the tall grasses. One bright and breezy morning, Pinky overheard his mom talking to Brownie's mom. "I need to go into the big city today," said Mrs. Rabbit, Pinky's mother. "I have to pick up some special seeds for the garden that you can only find there." "Oh, what a coincidence," replied Brownie's mother. "I need to go as well. I'm looking for a new button for my favorite waistcoat." Pinky's ears shot straight up. The big city. He had heard so many stories about it. Tales of towering buildings that tickled the clouds, strange, rumbling metal beasts, and more carrots in one place than he could ever dream of eating. He hopped over to his mom, his eyes wide with excitement. "Mom, can I go? Please, 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 I want to see the big city." Just then, Brownie, who had heard the commotion, scampered over. "Me too. Can we come with you? We'll be super good, we promise," he pleaded, wiggling his nose hopefully. The two moms looked at each other and then down at their little ones. Mrs. Rabbit knelt down and gently stroked Pinky's soft fur. "Oh, my sweet little bun," she said kindly. "We would love to take you, but we need to go and come back very quickly today. The city can be a very busy and confusing place, and with you two along we'd have to move much more slowly. We promise we'll take you another time for a proper day out." Brownie's mom nodded in agreement. "She's right, little ones. We won't be long. You two can have a fun day playing here in the meadow. Next time it will be a special trip just for you." Pinky and Brownie watched with droopy ears as their moms packed their little bags and waved goodbye, disappearing down the path that led away from the meadow. A heavy sigh escaped Pinky. "It's not fair," he mumbled, kicking a small pebble with his foot. "They always say, next time. But when is next time going to be?" Brownie's adventurous spirit was already churning. "What if?" he whispered, a mischievous glint in his eye. "We just followed them. We could see the city for ourselves. We'd be so quiet, they'd never even know we were there. It would be our biggest adventure ever." Pinky's heart did a little flip-flop. It was a risky idea. His mom had told him to stay in the meadow. But the thought of the big city was just too tempting. The towering buildings, the rumbling noises, the mountains of carrots. He looked at Brownie, his best friend, and a grin slowly spread across his face. "Okay," he whispered back. "Let's do it." With their minds made up, the two little rabbits set off. They followed the path their moms had taken, staying low in the tall grass and darting from bush to bush. They were careful to keep a safe distance so they wouldn't be spotted. Soon, the familiar sights and smells of their meadow began to fade away, replaced by things they had never seen before. The path turned into a wide, dusty road, and the gentle chirping of birds was slowly replaced by a distant low hum. After a while, they saw it. Rising up in the distance, taller than the highest trees, were strange, gray cliffs with countless glittering eyes. The big city. It was even more enormous than they had imagined. Their little rabbit hearts thumped with a mix of fear and sheer excitement. They scurried along the edge of the road, their eyes wide with wonder. Strange, colorful metal shells on wheels whizzed past them, making loud rumbling sounds. It was overwhelming, but they couldn't turn back now. Finally, they reached the city's edge. Everything was made of hard, gray stone. The ground wasn't soft and grassy, but flat and unyielding. And the noise! It was a constant cacophony of rumbles, rings, and shouts. Giant legs in trousers and skirts rushed past them in every direction. Pinky and Brownie had never felt so small in their entire lives. They huddled together behind a large flower pot, trying to make sense of it all. "Wow," Brownie breathed, his nose twitching a mile a minute, trying to process all the new smells. There was the scent of strange foods, exhaust fumes, and 1,000 things he couldn't name. "Where do you think our moms went?" Pinky asked, his voice a small squeak. He tried to peek over the edge of the pot, but the river of legs was too thick. They had lost sight of their mothers completely. A tiny knot of worry started to form in Pinky's tummy. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. "Don't worry," said Brownie, trying to sound braver than he felt. "They can't be far. Let's just look around a little. We have to see what a city carrot market looks like." Summoning their courage, they darted from the safety of the flower pot and scrambled along the base of a huge building. They dodged feet and shopping bags, their small size making them nearly invisible to the bustling humans above. They passed a shop with a window full of wonderful smelling bread, and another with brightly colored clothes that made their eyes pop. It was all so new and fascinating. Then they smelled it, a scent so wonderful, so familiar, so carroty. It was coming from just around the corner. Their noses led them to a big open market. And there, piled high on a wooden cart, was a mountain of the most beautiful, bright orange carrots they had ever seen. Their stomachs rumbled loudly. "Look at them all!" Pinky gasped. They had never seen so many carrots in one place. Forgetting all about being careful, they scurried towards the cart. They were just about to reach for a delicious-looking carrot when a loud, booming voice made them freeze. "Hey! Get away from there, you little pests!" Terrified, Pinky and Brownie spun around and fled. They ran without looking, their only thought to get away from the angry man. They scrambled under tables and dodged more feet, their hearts pounding in their chests. When they finally dared to stop, they were in a narrow alleyway, panting for breath. They looked around. Nothing looked familiar. The comforting smell of carrots was gone, replaced by the damp smell of bricks and puddles. The roar of the city still surrounded them, but now it sounded less exciting and more menacing. "Brownie," Pinky said, his voice trembling. I think we're lost." Brownie looked around the gloomy alley. He couldn't see the market, or the flower pot, or the road they came in on. The knot of worry in Pinky's stomach was now a giant heavy stone. He was right, they were lost. All the excitement of their big adventure had vanished, replaced by a cold, creeping fear. The city wasn't a fun playground. It was a huge, scary labyrinth. Tears welled up in Pinky's eyes. "I want to go home," he whimpered. "I want my mom." Brownie put a comforting paw on his friend's shoulder. He was scared too, but he knew he had to be strong for both of them. "Don't cry, Pinky," he said softly. "We'll find our way back. We just have to be brave." But as he looked around the strange, towering alley, he wasn't so sure himself. How could two tiny rabbits possibly find their way out of a place so big and confusing? They were all alone in the big city, and for the first time, their grand adventure felt like a very big mistake. Just as despair began to set in, they heard a familiar sound. A soft, gentle cooing. They looked up and saw a pigeon perched on a windowsill above them. It was a city pigeon, a bit grayer than the birds back home, but its eyes were kind. "Lost, little ones?" The pigeon cooed, tilting its head. Pinky nodded, wiping his eyes with his paw. "Yes, we followed our moms here, but we got lost and now we can't find them and we don't know the way home." The pigeon flew down and landed near them. "The city can be tricky if you don't know its ways," it said. "I know this place like the back of my wing. Where do you live?" "In a meadow," Brownie explained, "with lots of green grass and a big oak tree." The pigeon thought for a moment. "Ah, I know the place. It's a long hop from here. But if you follow this alley to the end, you will find a big park with a fountain. Your mothers might go there to rest before heading home. It's the greenest place in the city." Hope surged through the two little rabbits. "Thank you. Thank you so much," they chirped together. Following the pigeon's directions, they scurried to the end of the alley and found themselves at the edge of a beautiful park. It was an oasis of green in the middle of all the gray. There were trees, flowers, and in the center, a sparkling fountain. And there, sitting on a bench near the water, were two familiar figures. "Mom!" Pinky and Brownie shouted at the same time. Their mothers turned, their faces a mixture of surprise, relief, and worry. They rushed over and scooped up their little ones, hugging them tightly. "Pinky, Brownie! What are you doing here?" We were so worried. We just noticed you were gone from the meadow when we went to check on you before leaving," said Pinky's mom, checking him all over to make sure he was all right. "We told you to wait," said Brownie's mom, her voice stern but full of relief. Tears of relief streamed down Pinky and Brownie's faces. "We're so sorry," Pinky sobbed. "We just wanted to see the city so badly. But it was scary, and we got lost, and a man yelled at us, and we were all alone," Brownie added, burying his face in his mom's fur. Their mother's expression softened. They held their little rabbits close, letting them know they were safe. "Oh, you too," said Mrs. Rabbit, sighing. "We were just about to head home. We know you were curious, but what you did was very dangerous. The city is not a place for little rabbits to wander alone." On the long journey home, safely tucked in their mother's baskets, Pinky and Brownie felt a deep sense of relief. The setting sun cast long shadows, and the familiar sights and smells of the countryside welcomed them back. The city, from a distance, looked less like a magical kingdom and more like a busy, noisy place they were glad to be leaving. They learned a very important lesson that day. Listening to their parents is important. And while adventures are fun, safety is what matters most. The best adventures are the ones you can share safely with the ones you love. And they both agreed there was truly no place like home. From that day on, whenever they felt the pull of a big adventure, they always remembered to ask first. And you know what? Their next trip to the city with their moms right by their side was the best adventure of all. Thank you so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed Pinky and Brownie's big adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fun stories. We can't wait to see you again next time. Bye for now.